Hi, I'm Chris Brown, Senior Associate and leader of the Warren and Mahoney visualization team. I have over 25 years experience leading teams and creating visualization of all types, from concept images and competitions through to design presentations and marketing material. Warren and Mahoney is a design team of 350, working as one studio across 7 locations throughout New Zealand and Australia. Warren and Mahoney's projects aim to bring together 3 strands: culture, sustainability and technology to create great outcomes for our clients. Our studios are in great locations. They're collaborative, vibrant, high-tech spaces that inspire our people, our clients and our projects. Warren and Mahoney are working on projects around the Pacific Rim. We're working across all sectors of architecture and design. The Warren and Mahoney visualization team is made up of 7 specialists. There's a mix of experienced visualizers and some ambitious young talent. The majority of our team have an architectural qualification and all of us are super passionate about visualization. Our presentation today is broken down into 4 key sections covering some innovative use of creativity and technology. I've invited speakers from our Viz, BIM and digital design teams to share some key information with you. The Christchurch Cathedral was severely damaged in an earthquake in 2011. Due to safety reasons, access to the cathedral is not currently possible. That's where Spot the Dog equipped with a laser scanner came into play.
Spot came to us through a relationship we'd formed with Aware Group. We formed a collaboration and brought that to CCRL, our client. The journey of Spot into the cathedral was one that we took step by step. There was $190,000 worth of equipment, and if it failed, we weren't allowed in to get the equipment. There was a nervous moment where we lost Wi-Fi through 2 metres of masonry wall and we couldn't see Spot, and then we heard his robot footsteps come back around the corner. That was a big relief, and then we went to work capturing data in laser point cloud scans and 360-degree photos. That data has been passed to the construction team and also our modelling team, and has informed the detailing of the stabilisation works that's ongoing so that we can eventually get people inside the cathedral and start the rebuild.
For the cathedral, we produced high-quality renders using 3D Studio Max and Corona. Photorealistic materials were applied to the geometry and real-world lighting was forged until the right conditions were attained. Atmospherics and fogs were shaped to create the desired look and feel for the final set of images. An animated short was the concluding production piece for public release.
On this project, the visualization team was part of Spot's journey into the cathedral. Our visualization team has produced a number of animations and still renders on this project for our client. It's a very long-term project, so the ability for us to inform, particularly the public of Christchurch, where this is a central project, has been very important.
Warren and Mahoney use photogrammetry to generate complex models from photographs. We sometimes do this for miniature models and real-world scale objects.
One of the really cool things we do here at Warren and Mahoney Architects is use a combination of photography and photogrammetry software to be able to capture miniaturized models of artist installations. Sometimes we use drone photography to help us create models of larger installations. Photogrammetry process works by us importing raw data into photogrammetry software. We then go through and create a 3D model. The 3D model then is used to inform our decisions on how it represents the artist's vision. Sometimes we'd have to re-sculpt the models that are produced by the photogrammetry software in order to more accurately represent what the artists have envisioned.
Following the photogrammetry process, we'll often take the model we've created into our real-time software, and it gives us a way to explore it a little bit further with our clients, with their designers and the wider stakeholder team. And it gets us into the model and sort of interrogating it in a real-world space. So within this real-time software, it also allows us to experience the model in VR, which is a really profound experience, particularly for the designers themselves. We've often had them almost in tears at the experience of seeing their project in that space. So while the real-time process is really important, ultimately we see it as sort of an intermediary step before we take it into Corona Renderer. So these beautiful renders we create with Corona allow our clients to connect with their stakeholder groups, but also the communities that these designs are going to be within.
Warren and Mahoney utilise digital and generative design on projects. It's an exciting proposition when the visualisation team gets to produce high quality renders of these projects using V-Ray and Corona.
Digital design is a pretty broad concept, I guess, but for us it's about, playing with the latest and greatest tools and softwares and understanding what they can do for our design process. We use a lot of V-Ray for our design work. It's a great way to visualise what we're working on as we work through the design process. And one of the great additions to V-Ray is the V-Ray for Grasshopper plugin, which lets us communicate some of those parametric scripts we're working on as we work through them. One of the projects we've used this on is the Pullman Hotel at Auckland Airport. It was partly about designing a really complex form in our lobby space, but also about understanding how we can rationalise that and resolve it to help construct it in its entirety. The Federal Street Tower competition was an invited competition we did a couple of years ago. It had some different demands because it was obviously very fast-paced being a competition. We needed to create something quite evocative and exciting, and some of these digital tools were really great for creating those exciting designs, but also being able to work through them and iterate through them really quickly.
Digital design's going through a massive uptake in innovation. AI, machine learning, robotic technology is all playing a role in the way we design modern buildings for the built environment. Sustainability is on everybody's mind right now. The built environment plays a big role in the way we address sustainable outcomes. Using machine learning, AI and other new tools is giving us further insights into the way we can design and respond to these enormous challenges that are facing us.
Part of our job is actually researching as well and understanding what some of these tools can do and how we can use them in our design process. It's quite a fun part of the job because it's not looking at live projects but really getting to play with the tools and understand what they can do. Partly we're working through these studies as we go to understand our concepts, but the visualization team's crucial in terms of communicating those designs to a wider audience, particularly the wider design team, the client, and where appropriate, the wider public.
Warren and Mahoney utilise real-time rendering for creating storyboards of animation projects. We're always looking for ways to improve workflow and quality.
A really important part of our process is that we're not just making things up as we go along. We've made a plan through our storyboard, and then when we go on site to capture that content, it's based on decisions we've made earlier around the time of day, lighting, and that sort of thing. When we looked at the market for renderers out there, we made a decision based on quality, and in that sense, Corona just couldn't be beaten. It suited us perfectly in that sense, but also for speed.
We use Chaos Phoenix to create simulations of water and fire in cases where it's required.
Using Pulse Scene Manager gives us a huge amount of artistic freedom, but it also takes away some of that work around managing scenes. And you pair that with something like the Corona interactive rendering process, and it allows us to be more artistic and more creative. You've heard us today talk about using both V-Ray and Corona renderers from Chaos Group, and being able to manage that process is really important to us, and that sort of flows on to our clients and their stakeholder groups. Being able to make sure we know what we're doing at all times is absolutely crucial, and managing that process, and that's where Pulse Render Manager comes in. Being able to use both those renderers with no issue means we're fast, we're efficient, and we know what we're doing at all times.
Thank you Chaos Group for the opportunity to present at 24 Hours of Chaos. I've been using Chaos Group software for over 20 years. I always find it to be innovative and industry leading. I'm excited to see how, in the future, how real-time rendering and offline rendering continue to converge and come together. Less technical barriers opens up more creative freedom. Thank you.